Alright guys, today we are looking at triangle congruence. So if we know we've been talking about triangles, it's a shape with three sides. And then congruence, this word right here is from congruent. So when we talked about congruent, we had said that congruent, let me write this a little bit nicer. Means that things are similar. So if we're looking at congruent triangles, we're looking at similar triangles. So there's a couple of ways to know if triangles are congruent without having numbers. So we're going to look at some of these, and then in your practice, you'll be given a picture and you'll have to decide, are they congruent? And if so, how do we know? So here are some of the ways we will know if triangles are congruent. So our first set that we have right here, we'll have two pairs of congruent angles and the non-included side. So what this means here is we can see we have an angle. Here's another angle. Here we have an angle. Here's another angle. And lastly, we have a side. A side. So this, what we have here, we have an angle. We have a second angle, and we have a side. So this non-included means it is not between the angles. So here we have an angle, and then the side is on the side. Here we have an angle, and then the side. You go in order of what you see. So we can write angle, angle, side. Another way you will see this written is just the first letters. So you'll see it written as A, S. Angle, angle, side. All right, here's another one. It says 3 pairs of congruent sides. So we've got these numbers 3, and we're looking for sides. So if I look, I can see here's 1 tick mark, here's 1. I can go again, here are 2 tick marks, here are 2. And then lastly here, I've got 3 and 3. So if we look at the pieces that we have side, then we have another side, and lastly, we have a side. So here, 3 sides is side, side, side. So again, I can take the first letter of each of these, and I can simply write S, S, S for side, side, side. All right, let's look at some more. All right, on this next one, we have 2 pairs of congruent sides. So here I have 2 sides on a right triangle. So in order to have the right triangle, we have to see the little square in a corner. So if I look at my triangles, I can see here is a square and here is a square. So these are both right triangles. Then if I look, I've got 1 tick mark, 1 tick mark, and then I have 2, 2. So since these are right triangles, the side across from the right angle has a special name. It is called the hypotenuse. think there's an E on the end. Hypotenuse. That is the side that's across from the right angle. Then we can call this other side down here a leg. So if we have a right triangle, we can see are the hypotenuse, so the side across from the right angle, are those congruent? And then is there a leg that is congruent? So here we have this bottom, the short leg, here we have the short leg. So this is hypotenuse, leg. So again, I can take the first letters and I can just put H, L. And this only works if you have a right triangle. You have to have that little square. All right, next we've got two pairs of congruent sides. So we're looking for two sides and the included angle. So if it's included, that means it's going to be between our sides. So if we look, I can see here is one tick mark. Then as I keep going, I can see, ooh, there's an angle here. And then I've got two tick marks on the other side. So this is where that angle is between the sides. The angle is between the sides. So what I would write is here I would start with side. Then the next thing I see is an angle. And then the last piece that we have is a side. So you can see that the words match the picture. Side, angle, side, side, angle, side. They go in order. And again, I can take the first letter from each one and just do S-A-S. Side, angle, side. All right, we have one more that we're going to look at, and then we have some bad ones. All right, the last one we're going to look at is this bottom one here, where we've got two pairs of congruent angles, and this time there is an included side. So that means the side is between the angles. So if we look here, I've got an angle. Then if we keep going, there's the side, that tick mark. And then lastly, there's another angle. You've got the two lines. So when we go to write this name, we'll have angle. Then after this first angle, there's a side. And then we have a second angle. So here we've got angle, side, angle. So I'd use A-S-A. So this last piece are ones that do not work. These are called false shortcuts. So if you see these are going to be not congruent. So if you have angle, 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 a triangle where it's all angles that are marked, where it's like this, 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 this is bad. You see that? Nope. Or side, side angle. So if you see one where it's side, side, and then an angle, this is another one that will not work. So if you see these, your answer will be not congruent, or no, or none. So beware of these. These will not work. So I'm going to give you a few examples of what you'll see on the practice, and then you'll be able to start the practice. So down here we've got some examples. So what we want to look for are things that are shared, or tick marks that we have. So if I look at this first example, here I can see that there's an angle marked. I can see that there is a side marked. And then the last one is not marked, but if you look here, where these two triangles meet, we have a pair of vertical angles. So that means that these angles are equal. So this right here and this right here. So if we look at the things we've marked, I've marked an angle, I've marked another angle, and we've also marked a side. So here we've got an angle, another angle, and a side. So our answer, if we go in order, would be angle, angle, side. All right, if we look over here, I can see again, I've got a tick mark on the side. I have two tick marks. And then again, I've got this pair of vertical angles that meet in the middle. So if I look at what I'm given, I've got a side, I have an angle, and I have another side. So to write out, I would write side to angle to side. And if we look at the last one here, I've got one tick mark, two tick marks, two tick marks. And then if you notice, this third side is on both triangles. So since this side is on both triangles, it's the same length for both, because it's that same line. So if we look at what we've marked, we've got a side, and a side. So this one would just be side, side, side. They won't always be touching like this, but I wanted to show you some where those triangles are connected. So for practice, you've got a quizzes and a Google form to try to see if you can identify these triangle congruents. Right. Let me know if you have any questions.